Hello everyone and welcome back to video tutorial 3. In today's video we're going to move away from actually learning how to play the drums because we've got that basic knowledge now, and we're going to move on to how we read drum music, because going into video 4 we're going to be learning how to play a bit of the drum page and play a part out of a grade 1 piece. So we need to know how we read drum music now. So the learning objectives are: we're going to learn how to read drum notation / tabs, and we're also going to learn what part of the instrument is what written down, if that makes sense. So let's get into it. We're going to start by having 4 lines because this is our bar, okay? So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is just one bar. You can have more lines going across and then a line between it, but we're just going to stick with the one bar for now. So if I put a box around this and put one bar. Now, at the beginning of the bar, because this is our first bar of the piece, it's going to tell us our time signature. And because we've been learning in the traditional 4 beats, we're going to put 4/4, just to let us know that we are in that time signature. So now, let's go on to what part of the drum kit is what. So we're going to learn how to write. Remember in video tutorial 1 where we did the more developed drum groove, but we broke it down to start off with the 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to write that down in drum tabs. So let's start with our hi-hat. The hi-hat is a bit different because when you see the piano notation, it's all these loads of black notes. Well, with drums, we do have some black notes, but we have X's and we have pluses and we have O's as well. So let's show you what they mean. So a hi-hat is an X with a line, but it depends where it sits on the line and what line it sits on. The hi-hats sit on the line, not in the middle of the line, because that would be a ride, okay? So this is our hi-hat. Okay? So, what line? You have line 1, let's label them, 1, 2, 3 and 4. What line do you think that sits on? So we have, say, the top of the drum kit. We have the middle of the drum kit. So the top is the crashes. We have the middle is the hi-hat, the toms and all that sort of stuff. And then we have the bottom as the kick and the floor tom. What do you think that would sit on? Because this is what's keeping us in time as well. So it's the top line, and it's not sitting in the middle, it's sitting on the top. So we need 4 of these, if you can remember, because it was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm going to draw my 4. And we're going to write our numbers above it in a minute, but don't forget we need our stems. And also, I'm going to join these up now. So on a lot of drum tabs, you could see this. And that means we've just got 4. We've got 4 hi-hats, and that's sitting on the line. That just means that we're joining them up to know that we've got 4, because when we develop our drum groove and we have a double one of these in one bar, so this is our one bar still, we have another one of these, it just shows you that we're doing 4 and a 4, okay? So let's join these up. Yep, and let's write our numbers above it as well, just to tell us what beat is what. Now, that would sound like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Let's bring our kick into play. Our kick is a black dot, but the stem goes down. Okay? And that's our kick. Now, where do you think this sits on our drum tab and in our bar? What line number? So this is line number 1. What line do you think this sits on? It is number 4, okay? Because we're going, this is the bottom of the drum kit, so it's got to sit on the bottom line, okay? Now, we're going to play our drum groove again. What beats was it on? Was it on beat 1, our kick, beat 2, 3 or 4? Can you remember? So, it was on beats 1 and 3, okay? So let's draw this under beat 1. And we're going to sit it on the bottom of the line now. Underneath, we're going to draw our stem. Okay? So it looks a bit like that. Now we're going to go to 3. So now, that sounds a bit like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, what else are we missing from that drum groove? We are missing our snare. So a snare looks a bit like this, but there's something different. I'm going to draw it, and I want you to tell me what is different. What's different from that to that? If you guessed it right, we have the stem going upwards instead of down. Yeah? So this is our snare. Now, what line do you think this sits on? If you guessed 2, you're right. Okay? So this is going to sit on top of the second line. But, what beats was it on? Can you remember? Was it on beat 1, 2, 3 or 4? If you guessed 2 and 4, you're right. Okay? So we're going to go to our second line. We're going to draw on top of the line. We're going to draw our little dot. We're going to draw our little dot under 4. And we're going to draw the stems. There we go. So now, that sounds a bit like our drum groove that we first ever learnt. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you want, you can pause the video and try write this yourself. If you want to move on and we want to learn what we did at the end of tutorial 1, where it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we can do that next. So, remember these. Let's write it above here. These are our hi-hats. These are our snares. And these are our kicks. Yeah? Now, let's rub this off. We're going to do that more complex drum groove now. So let's draw our bar. Let's draw another box. Now, it's still 1 bar long, but we're just doubling this in 1 bar. So let's draw our time signature. Let's draw our 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just doubling this. Let's draw our numbers as well, just to remind us what line's what. Now, what would be a bit different in this? If you know, we're doing this but twice, but we're not going to join up the hi-hats, if you can remember. So let's draw our first one. Our hi-hats. 2, 3, 4. Let's join them up. Now, the counting is going to be a bit different here. Let's move this up to here. It's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. We just, here it's 4, but here it's 8. Now this way you might get a bit confused, because here there's only 4 beats in the bar, but here we're doing 8. The only reason why is because we're just counting a bit faster. So there we went 1, 2, 3, 4, And it's exactly the same time, but we're just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just counting a bit faster, that's why we're getting more beats, okay? So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we need another set of these because we're doubling this, what we did here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're sitting on top of the line. Draw our stems. And we can double that again, 1, 2, 3, 4 if we want. Okay, now let's bring our kick in. It's on 1 and 3. So here, I'm going to draw our dot and go to 3, draw our dot on the bottom line and draw our lines. There we go. Now we just need to copy and paste that over to the other side. So here and here. So let's label it now so we don't get confused. These are our hi-hats. These are our kicks. Now, let's bring our snares in. They're on beats 2 and 4. So, what line was it on, remember? It was on line 2. And now we need to go to beats 2. Draw our dot, and draw our stem. Go to beat 2, draw our stem, beat 4, draw our stem. So this one, let's label this first actually, our snare. So this one was 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So everything that we did in tutorial 1 is here. Now, we can draw our and here, but we're not going to do it as a plus. So, we'll do A. So remember in video 2, we were adding more kicks in. So, here, I'm going to bring it in. So if it was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I'm going to bring in another kick here. So here, now that would go 1 and 2 and 3, and I'm bringing in a kick off beat now. So this is where we start getting more into video 2, where we develop our drum grooves and make them more complex. And that's what it'd look like. So if you want, add your A's in. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, just to help you if you want to start adding more in to develop. But if not, let's stick to what we already know. So, other stuff that we've done, or that you might see on the drum kit, is the ride. Now the ride is like this, but it's a bit different. So as you see the hi-hat, it sits on the line, where now, that's what the ride looks like. The ride, the line's in the middle, as you can see. So that's the ride. Now for an open hi-hat, it looks a bit like this. It's an X still. And above it we still have our stem. But if we do 4 of these just to show you. Now I want the second one open. So it'll have a little O above it. So that's closed, that's open. But how do we know that the next one's closed or open? It will tell us. So to determine a closed hi-hat, it's a plus. So this is an open hi-hat. This is closed. Okay. So, other stuff that you might want to know is your toms. Now, your toms determine what line they sit on. And also, this helps with the height of the drum kit. This is where we're bringing the height in. So, toms can have up lines, but they can have down lines. It depends what piece of the drum kit is what, okay? So, we have a high tom, it's going to be the higher the line it sits on. A low tom is the lower the line, but the low tom won't go lower than the kick, okay? Because the kick is on the bottom, so that is going to always be on the bottom line. It might sit above it, here. We might have one here on the line, but it will never go below the line, okay? So, everything that we've learnt is everything that we've played, okay? So let's recap. We've learnt that the hi-hats sit on top of the line, the snare sits on top of the line on line 2, and the kick is on line 4. We've also learnt that this is one bar, and then to determine another bar, let's just move this line. You'd have a line here, then you'd have more lines. Okay? So, hopefully you've learned everything that we've covered in today's video, but if you haven't, don't worry. Recap of what we've done, pause the video, try and write some stuff down yourself, and if you can't, just take it step by step, okay? So, next video we're going to be learning how to play a drum page, which will look a bit like this, and I'll be breaking it down step by step. So hopefully we see you next time, and don't forget to subscribe.